Hello again. There was a time after the 2015 migrant crisis, which saw columns of illegal immigrants trekking through the Balkans towards Western Europe. There was a time when Denmark was in danger of being swamped with some of these so-called asylum seekers and refugees. New laws, though, have dramatically cut the number of people claiming asylum in Denmark. In fact, the numbers have been reduced by 90% in the last year or two. Asylum seekers are housed in camps rather than hotels and only given limited rights to remain, even if their application is accepted. The chances of becoming Danish citizens these days for them are practically zero. One measure which has been introduced could prove very useful in Britain. As I'm sure viewers know, there are districts in parts of our cities where the majority of the population consists of immigrants and foreigners. These places, one thinks of London boroughs such as Brent, Newham and Tower Hamlets, are de facto ghettos. Denmark now has a law which is designed to prevent this situation arising. If an area has high levels of unemployment and crime, and also more than half the people living there are of what is described as non-Western origin, then the government can authorise the demolition of blocks of flats and the resettlement of the inhabitants in other districts to prevent the growth of what they describe as parallel societies. Of course, in this country we know all about parallel societies, especially in London and parts of northern England. I'm thinking now of districts of Bradford, Leeds, Manchester, and so on. There is something intriguing about the idea of dynamiting blocks of flats in these places and then moving the residents to other parts of the country to break up any separate society which seems to be forming. This may sound harsh, but I'm sure that if Denmark can undertake such a project in a humane fashion, then we could also manage it. At the moment, whole streets, indeed entire districts, have a distinctly South Asian character, since well over half the people living there are of Pakistani heritage. Denmark are making great strides in dealing with some of the problems which we face, and we could perhaps learn a thing or two from them. Interestingly, they are having the effect of making the country far less attractive to those seeking asylum in the first place than was previously um, the case. Those with begging bowls are getting the message that they needn't bother with Denmark and would do better to try their luck elsewhere. It would certainly be worth trying some of these schemes in Britain, for making the country less attractive to asylum seekers would be half the battle won. It's largely because they know that they will be housed and fed and will be able to work illegally while their claims are being processed that these people are still flocking to our country. It wouldn't take much to change their views of the matter, and perhaps a version of Denmark's Ghetto Law might very well fit in with such a move.